Good morning. Welcome to today's practice. We are going to get started. Please come into child's pose on your mat, allowing your breath to deepen, feeling the floor supporting you, holding you up. Take deep, deep inhales, bringing the breath all the way to the lower back, releasing any tension in the lower back and allowing your hips to sink down towards your heels. I'm going to start today's practice with a lovely message. Listen to your body. The call to exercise doesn't come from gyms, health clubs, physical education directors, or diet books. The call to exercise comes from our bodies, from our souls. I fought exercise for a long, long time. During the 1980s, when it became popular, I managed to resist. It's boring, hard, and unpleasant, I thought. It won't work for me. When my daughter finally dragged me to the local health club, I felt like I was in a foreign country. I rode a bike for a few minutes, then wobbled to the water fountain looking for a penguin. Legs numb, heart pounding, muscles aching, sweat pouring down my back. My daughter looked at me and firmly said, "You let yourself get in this shape. Now it's time to get out." It took a while to understand that when I did some simple workouts, I felt better, not worse. The cycle happened naturally over many months, but my body had said loudly, "It's time." The world is full of ways to move around, work our bodies, and exercise. Park the car a few spaces farther from the store and walk. Carry groceries one bag at a time from the car to the house. Carry your own luggage. Go for a walk. Go for a run. Do sit ups. Learn yoga. Take up line dancing. Find some way to move your body that feels good for you. Start doing it even if it doesn't feel good at first. Do it until you can hear your body. Hear what it wants. Hear what it needs. Hear what it feels good to it. Do it until you can hear your body tell you how and when it wants to move. The better you can hear your body, the more clearly you will hear your soul. On your next exhale, slowly walk your hands all the way over to the right, staying in child's pose, and bring your left hand on top of your right hand, and bring your left sitting bone all the way to your left heel, and lower your head down, ears between the elbows. Allow the space from the left sitting bone all the way up the left side of the torso, all the way through the left armpit to the left fingertips to open. Breathe into the left lung that has so much space right now. And then slowly lift your head, walk your hands all the way to the left, bringing the right hand on top of the left. Lower your head down to the floor and ground the right sitting bone towards the right heel. Take a few deep breaths here, opening up the whole right side body, breathing into the right lung. Inhale the hands back to center. Come onto the fingertips and slowly lower your head back down, feeling the transfer of the stretch to the upper back, activating the triceps, lifting the elbows off the floor. And breathe, arriving, surrendering to the next hour, whatever it holds, with the intention of listening to our body and hearing its cues. On your next inhale, slowly come up to a sitting position. Roll over the feet and come to easy seat Sukhasana. We're going to bring our hands to our knees and we're going to slowly make circles. Inhaling on the way down, exhaling on the way back. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. Loosening up the hips, waking up the spine. And then begin to turn the other way. Slowly making circles, exhaling on the way back, inhaling on the way forward. Come back to center. Sit up nice and tall. Lengthen the tailbone to engage the pelvic floor and the lower belly. Lengthen through the top of the head. Inhale the arms up. Be tall, tall, tall. Exhale down to one side. Stretching the whole left side body, making sure that the left hip is really grounded into the mat. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the other side. Ground the right hip. Lift up out of the torso, pelvis, and lift the fingers as far as they can go to the other side. Inhale back to center. Arms up. Exhale, twist to the right. Left hand comes to the right knee. Right hand comes behind you. Push into the right hand to lift and open the chest. Push the left hand into the knee to deepen the twist. Look behind you and allow the chest to come all the way facing the side of the mat. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the other side. Push into the left hand to lift and open the chest. Push into the knee to deepen the twist. Gaze is behind you. And on the exhale, come back to center. Interlace the fingers, and we're going to do sort of a seated cat-cow, but using the arms. So you're going to inhale, palms face away from you. Lift the hands, arch the back, lower the head, stretching the neck. Exhale, round the back, bring the palms to your face and spread the shoulder blades from the center to the sides. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. This time, bring the hands right in front of you, palms facing out. Bring the hands to the right, lower the head, and push with the left wrist. So you should feel a really nice release around the left shoulder blade, left armpit, and left side of the neck. Inhale, lift the head, bring the hands to the other side, lower the head, and push with the right wrist, releasing the right shoulder blade, right upper back. And come back to center. We're going to bring our hands to our shoulders, and first just make circles in one direction, articulating the whole shoulder joint, and then circle in the other direction. And come back to center and just release the head, side to side. Now, in this position with our hands on our shoulders, we're going to start some pranayama. So, if the breath is calm, the mind is calm. And if we can take control of the breath, we can then take control of the mind. So, we're going to start by inhaling to the left, exhaling to the right. Inhale to the left, exhale to the right. And you can do this as fast or as slow as feels comfortable to you. But what we want to do is have a forceful breath. So it sounds like this. And we're going to keep it up for a few minutes, using our waist, releasing our obliques and any tension in the lower back. But at the same time, we're really taking control of the breath and bringing energy up from the base of the spine to be used throughout the class and throughout our day. So keep going a few more seconds. You can close the eyes. You can focus on something in the distance, but really go inside and send all your energy to all your awareness to your breath. Ten more seconds. And then on the final one, we're going to inhale, lift our hands above our head. 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Hold your breath here for as long as comfortable. And then when you're ready, at your time, exhale, bring your hands down by your sides, close your eyes, go inside, and really feel what that little bit of movement, release, and breath work has done for us. So I want the intention of the class to be really focusing on the signals sent from your body and really trying to hear when something is working, when something is crunching, how can we release that? And how effort on our part really gives us nourishment and grace back into our systems. Inhale, push into the floor, lengthen the tailbone down, engage the pelvic floor. And on the exhale, bring your hands to heart center. And we're going to do a short meditation just to arrive in stillness. Keep your awareness on your breath. If a thought comes, notice it like a cloud in the sky and allow it to pass without judgment, without needing to file it away or grasp onto it. And bring your awareness back to your breath. It's from this quiet place that we begin. Open your eyes, bring your hands to your knees, and we're going to start in cat-cow. So first, just make circles in your cat-cow, releasing any tension in the knees, lubricating all the joints, wrists, knees, hips. And then circle the other way. And then find any organic movements, any messages from your body. So go bring your hips to one heel, bring your hips to another heel. You can look over one shoulder, look over the other shoulder, shift your weight forward, shift your weight back. Whatever feels good, release the head. Taking a moment to really improve our body literacy and seeing the signals and finding the tight points in our body. Once that has served us, we're going to do 2 cat-cows. Tuck your toes, inhale, lift your head, drop your belly, arch the back. Exhale, push into the tops of the feet, dome the back, lower the head, gaze is between the knees. Inhale, tuck the toes, look up. Exhale, push into the tops of the feet, round the back. Come back to neutral, so wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, and engage the lower belly, so we're protecting the lower back. Step the right foot back, push into the big toe mound, and really stretch the back of the calf, opening the back of the leg. And then come back to center. Again, engage the belly. Inhale, lift the leg, cross it across the body, outside the left. Gaze over the left shoulder, push into the heel, and start to release the IT band, the outside of the hip, and all the outside of the left leg, right leg, excuse me. Inhale, back to center. We're going to step on the ceiling. So we want our hip straight, but the knee and the ankle are at a 90-degree angle. Engage the lower belly so we're not dumping into the low back. And we're going to do 3 teeny tiny steps on the ceiling, really using where the hamstring meets the glute. It's very intense in the glute, but not a big movement. And stay like that 2 more times. And then lengthen the leg. And we're going to slowly rotate like a helicopter, bringing the leg in line with our right knee. Walk your hands back. Come up into gate pose. So now I'll turn this way so you can see more clearly. My leg is extended. Inhale the arms up. Engage the left outer hip for stability. Exhale, bring the right hand down onto the right leg. And the left hand is up and over, releasing the left side body. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, lower the left hand down. Right hand is up. And inhale, lift the right leg, flexing the foot, activating the whole outside of the hip. Spending one more breath here. And then slowly lowering our right hand back down, coming back into a tabletop position. We're going to inhale the right arm up. Exhale, thread it through. Inhale up. Exhale, thread it through. Inhale up. Exhale, this time we stay. So lower the shoulders to the floor, lower the temple to the floor. Push into the back of the right hand to deepen the twist. And here's another option, a time where we have to listen to our body. So the next step, if you want to take it deeper, is walk the left hand forward, pushing into the palm of the left hand, allowing the twist to deepen. Stay here if this feels good, or you can walk the left foot back and push into the toe mound, allowing you to twist even a little bit deeper. Stay here, or if you want to challenge your balance, you can keep the hips square to the floor, but begin to lift the left leg, pushing through the heel of the left leg. And now here we're working on our glutes and we're working on our balance. On an exhale, bring the left foot down to the floor. Bring the knee back under the hip. Left hand back under the shoulder. Inhale, lift the right arm. Exhale, bring the right hand back down. One cat-cow to bring the body back to neutral. Tuck the toes. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, push into the tops of the feet, dome the back, and round. And we're going to do that on the other side. So first, engage the lower belly so that we're not dumping into the low back. And then step the left foot back, push into the toe mound, and release the calf and the Achilles and anything that's tight in the lower part of the left leg. Then come back to center, so shoulders over wrists. Inhale, lift the lower belly to protect the low back. Lift the left leg, cross it to the outside of the right foot. Gaze over the right shoulder. Push into the right heel. The left heel, excuse me, and release the whole outside of the left leg. So you should really feel a nice release on the left hip, the left IT band, all the way down the left leg. Once again, engage the lower belly so we're not dumping into the low back. And we're going to lift the left leg and helicopter it all the way outside so that it's in line with the right knee. Inhale, lift your arms, coming into gate pose. Engage the corner of the right hip for stability. Inhale the arms up and exhale over to the left. Left hand just palm face up on the outside of the left leg. And then lift up out of the hips and side bend up and over, releasing the whole right side of the hip. Inhale back to center. Lower the right hand in line with the right hip. Left arm comes up. And inhale, lift the left leg. Working on the outside of the left hip. And stability and balance. One more breath here, lengthening from the left foot all the way to the top of the head. And then we're going to slowly helicopter back to tabletop. And come into a quick child's pose to release the lower back. Release the triceps. Come back to a tabletop, and we're going to do thread the needle on the left side. So inhale, lift the left arm. Exhale, thread it through. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, this time we stay. Bring the shoulder to the floor. Bring the temple to the floor. And again, assess where your body is, although I recommend doing whatever you did on the other side so that you keep your body in balance. So the options are first walking your right hand forward, using the palm of the right hand to deepen the twist. Stay there or walk the right foot back, allowing that to deepen the twist. And then if you want to test your balance, keep your hips square to the floor and begin to lift the right leg. Lower the foot, lower the knee, bring the hand back, and come back into tabletop. Here we're going to lower our hips into a child's pose, walk your hands forward, and then keeping the hands as far forward as they are, tuck your toes, push your hips up and back, and come into a downward facing dog. So it's our first downward dog. We need to release the legs before we even get to our form. So first, just pedal out the feet, and you can turn the heels one way, gaze under the opposite armpit, lift and bring the heels to the other side, gaze under the opposite armpit, and then slowly come back to center, and we're going to settle in. So first, we're going to send our awareness to our hands. Push the pointer finger and thumb finger mounds into the mat so much that it's as if your pinky sides are going to come off the floor, which they're not. But that rotation of the lower arms takes the weight out of the wrists and protects the wrists. So we really want the insides of the hands to be pressing down hard into the mat. Then from there, we want to rotate the triceps backwards towards the body so that it causes a scooping out of the armpits and allows us to shift our weight back and take the weight out of the shoulders. From there, we're going to send our awareness to our feet. So we want to make sure they're number 11, they're hips distance apart, and the heels are yearning down, the calves are trying to go down, and the thighs are going back in space. So that again deepens our hip crease and allows our shape to be even lighter on the mat. Take a moment here to shake your head. Yes, yes. No, no. Allow gravity to release your neck. And then inhale, come forward to a plank. Exhale, bring it back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to a plank. Exhale, go back to a downward facing dog. This time we're going to lift the right leg, bend the knee, open the hip, and make circles with the knee and circle in the opposite direction. Straighten the leg, dial the toes down towards the floor, and then slowly come forward, bringing your knee to your nose. Step the foot forward, lower the back knee, untuck the back toes. Inhale the arms up, coming into Anjaneyasana. So here we want to allow the weight to shift forward, releasing the front of the left hip, and then using the hands, pull the body up, up, out of the hips, lifting the belly off the thigh. Exhale, open the hands to the side, and we're going to twist. So the left hand comes forward, the right hand goes back. And we're going to spend a minute here as if someone's pulling the back hand all the way back. If you want, stay here, or you can bring the right hand to the left hamstring and inhale, lift, The left arm up. Come back to T arms. Bring your hands to prayer hands. And then the left elbow is going to come outside the right knee. And use that to pivot the twist even deeper, lifting the torso out of the hips and twisting from the upper back. You should feel a great release in the right hip, right outer thigh. And then we're going to slowly release. Walk your hands over to the left, keeping the legs as they are. And here we're just going to be a little bit sloppy in the sense that I want you to feel where you feel stickiness or tension. And if that means that you bend your elbows and lower all the way to the floor, shaking the head. If that means you straighten the arms and dome the back, really releasing the upper back. If you have to walk your hands more in one direction, more in the other direction, really find what serves you and release that hip and or upper back, depending on what you need. Take your time here. Let this position serve you. We just worked the legs, so there's a lot of room to release the warm muscles. When you're ready, we're going to walk our hands back to the front of the mat, tuck the back toe, step the right foot back to meet the left, push back into downward facing dog, focus on the internal rotation of the lower arms, so really pushing into the pointer finger thumb mound, and the external rotation of the upper arms, really scooping out the armpits, giving you that space to push back and deepen the hip crease. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest, shin. Inhale, forward, cobra. Release the head. Yes, yes, no, no. And then tuck the toes, bend the knees, push it up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg and bend the knee, open the hip, make circles with the leg. And then when that has served you, straighten the leg, close the hip, dial the toes down to the floor so you know the hip is closed. And then inhale forward to a plank, bringing the knee to your nose, doming your back. And on the exhale, step the foot forward in between the hands, lower the back knee, untuck the back toes, and inhale up to Anjali on the left side. First, spend a minute here getting your foundation stable. So really engage the outer hips. Lift the pelvic floor and the belly so your whole front body is lifting, opening the heart. And then using the hands, lift and open the heart even more. On the exhale, shift the weight forward, opening the front of the right hip. And spending a moment here, really feeling the efforts of the pose and the effects of the pose on your body. Exhale, bring your hands out to a T and slowly twist the right arm forward, left arm back. Imagine someone is pulling your left arm so that your shoulders are in line over your hips and the twist is really coming from the upper back. Stay here or bring the left hand to the right hamstring and inhale the right arm up, allowing for a deeper back bend and a deeper opening of the right hip flexor. making sure that the tailbone is long so you're not dumping into the lower back. Exhale, bring the hands back to a T, and then bring them to prayer at the heart. And lower the right elbow onto the left knee, using the elbow to really lift out of the hips and twist deeper, deeper, deeper. As you lengthen the head forward and release any tension. On the next exhale, bring the hands down, walk them forward towards the right side. So now we're sort of in between a forward fold and a lunge. And allow yourself to find where this serves you. So this position can be used to release the back or the left hip. So really spend the time to listen to your body, take note of what messages it's sending you, and see if you can find any sticky spots and really stay there. Once you find a sticky spot, breathe into it, acknowledge it, and let it release. And once it's done that, then you can move on to find another one. Take your time with this, really make it about you. And then slowly walk your hands back to the mat, tuck the back toe, straighten the back leg, and step the left leg to meet the right leg, coming into a downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet here. The left leg has been bent for a long time. The right leg was bent before that. And really just let yourself come back to neutral. So down dog is an active resting pose. So really we want to use it to allow the breath to come back to neutral. And even though we're working, it should be a form of resting because our muscles are warmed up at this point and it's bringing us back to neutral on both sides, balance. Inhale, come up onto the tiptoes. Exhale, lower the heels. Inhale, come up onto the tiptoes, and then take as many steps as possible to come to the front of the mat. So the more steps you can get, the better. We're going to spend a minute here in this forward fold. So start by half lift, bring your hands to your knees, lengthen through the back of the head. Make sure that your weight is in the middle of your feet. You're not leaning back or leaning forward. And deepen the hip creases as much as possible. And then exhale forward even more. Grab opposite elbows and ragdoll. So sway side to side. Bend one knee and then the other. Really releasing the backs of the legs, allowing gravity to help us fold deeper into the forward fold. Exhale, release the hands, slight bend in the knees, and roll up vertebrae by vertebrae, allowing gravity to help us create space in between each vertebrae. Once you get to the top, stand in Tadasana, hands by your sides, lengthening the tailbone, spreading the collarbones from the center to the sides, and allow your breath to come back to neutral and receive the efforts of your practice. Feel the difference in your body and your mind. Slowly come to face the side of your mat. We're going to walk our feet 3 to 4 feet apart. Interlace your hands above your head. Lengthen up and then rotate the entire right leg all the way from the top of the hip open to the side. The back leg, we're going to twist just slightly so that you have more space in the hips to come into warrior two. So the back leg, I would say it's like a 5-degree in with the toes, just so that your thigh can sit nicely in your hip. Lift, lift, lift with straight legs up out of your hips. And on the exhale, release the hands. You might need to lengthen your stance coming into warrior two. So we want the front knee bent directly over the front ankle. The back leg, we're using the pinky side of the back foot to activate the whole outside of the back leg and really strengthen the pose. Our arms are equal, not one or the other. And we're imagining someone's pulling our hand in both directions so that your hips are lined up directly, your shoulders are lined up directly over your hips. Gaze is over the front finger. And you want to lift and open your chest and activate the triceps. From here, we're going to flip the front palm. Inhale, sweep the ceiling. I like to bring my backhand to my lower back so that I'm aware of the curve of my lower back and not allowing my hips to come forward, really lengthening my tailbone down. Inhale, lift the arm up all the way from the hip. So the entire left side body is lengthening and lifting. Exhale, bring the left hand to the thigh, keeping the right hand behind you, and activate the fingers on the left hand, which will activate the armpit and give you more strength to lengthen the left side of the torso so that both sides of the torso are super long, all the way from the right foot up the right side of the body, out the top of the head. Stay here for one more breath. And then inhale, keeping the knee bent, coming into reverse warrior. Keeping a breath here. And then on the exhale, we're going to straighten the left leg, coming into windswept triangle. Really trying to reach with the left hand for where the wall meets the ceiling, but the reach doesn't come from the shoulder. It comes all the way from the hip. On the exhale, bring your hands to a T. Keep your hips as they are, and then slowly lower your hand to anywhere on your leg. If you have a block, you can use a block. If this is, the goal of the pose is to lengthen the sides and keep your body twisted open. So if going down is causing you to close, that's not the goal. So stay wherever you can be. That allows us to really lengthen out the sides of the body. Lift the arches of both feet so you're not dumping into the knees. And open the chest into triangle pose. Now from here, we're going to bring the right hand to our hip, focus on the left big toe, and then bend the front knee, step the back foot in slightly, and we're going to come into half moon pose. So you want to reach the hand for 12 o'clock, and then lift the back foot, opening the hips to the side. And if you have a wall, you can use a wall behind you. If you have a block, you can lift the hand. And really the goal is to have the body straight and lengthened from this foot all the way in the back to the top of the head. Keep the bottom leg super straight like a lamppost. And then we're going to step into like a curtsy. So the back leg is going to come behind the standing leg and lower down into a supine twist. So if this is not an accessible position, you can always extend the bottom leg long. If you can really make both seats connect with the floor, keeping the foot bent, that's great. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, twist to the left, bringing the right arm outside the left knee. And then inhale, using the left hand, lift and open the chest. Exhale, twist a little bit deeper. And notice here how different this twist feels than the first one we did at the beginning of class. So in the beginning of class, we didn't have nearly as much movement. We were much stiffer. And now, even though this is a more intense version of the pose, we're able to get deeper. On the exhale, counter twist. Slowly lower your hands to the floor. And open the legs long in front of you. Shake them out a little. Tap them out. And we're going to do a Paschimottanasana, forward fold, before we get to the other side. Inhale the hands up. Exhale, reach for the feet. Keep a slight bend in the knees so we're not hyperextending the knees. And then decide where you want to send the stretch. If you feel like you need it in your back, make a bigger bend in the knees. If you feel like you need it in the legs after all of that work we just did, keep only a slight bend in the knees. Once you've reached as far as you're going to go in your stretch, drop your head and spend a minute breathing here, allowing the back body to open. Release from that, and we're going to come back to standing in the middle of our mat. So, keep your feet 3 to 4 feet apart. Inhale, lift the hands. Exhale, lift out of your hips, out of your torso. On the inhale, rotate the entire right leg all the way so that it's perpendicular to the front or the back of your mat. And then rotate the back foot just slightly in so that it sits nicely in your hip socket. First thing we're going to do is lengthen the pose. So with 2 straight legs, pull the body up out of itself. Make yourself super light and as long as possible. Once there's no more wiggle room in the hips, release the hands, bend the front knee. You might need to lengthen your stance. Find the stance that allows you to deeply bend the knee so that it's in line over the ankle. Make sure the shoulders are in line over the hips. Make sure the arms are in line with each other. And then gaze over the front hand, opening the heart and activating the triceps. Breathe here for a minute, feeling the effects of the pose, feeling like your feet are going to rip the mat apart. And then on the inhale, keeping the bend of the knee, bring the back hand to your lower back so you have awareness of the curve of the lower back. And inhale, sweep the front palm into a peaceful warrior. Lift up out of the front hip, over the left side of the body, and lengthen back. Exhale, bring the right hand to the right thigh. I'm just going to move back on my mat. Deeply bend the front knee, keeping the hand on the hip so you have an awareness of the lower back still. activate the front hand, which will activate the armpit, and then lengthen the body all the way from the bottom of the left foot, up the left leg, up the left side, out the top of the head. Breathe here, opening the heart. And then on the exhale, lift up and back, deeply bending the front knee back into peaceful warrior. Inhale here. And then exhale into windswept triangle. Straighten the front leg. Lift the hands as if they're trying to touch where the ceiling meets the wall. Inhale, exhale. Really feeling the messages from your body. Bring your hands to a T. Keep the hips tight as they were. And slowly lower the hand anywhere on the leg with awareness that the goal of the pose is to lengthen the side bodies. So don't just drop into a spot that compromises the lift of the chest and the lengthening of the torso. Spend a moment here in triangle pose. Lifting the chest, opening it to the side of the mat. And then we're going to bring this top hand to your hip. You're going to bend the front knee, put your gaze on your right foot. Step the left foot in and slowly lower your right hand to 12 o'clock. I'm a little too close to the wall. Inhale, lift the left leg, open the hip. Flex the lifted foot and straighten the standing leg like a lamppost. Lengthen through the top of the head and out through the back heel. One more breath here. And then slowly with control, curtsy back so that the left foot steps behind the right. And lower into a seated position with the right foot bent on top of the left. You can always extend the left leg as we discussed on the other side. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, left elbow outside the right knee. Make sure both sitting bones are touching the floor. Use the right hand behind you to lift, lengthen, and open your chest. And then the right elbow, the left elbow deepens the twist. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. And again here, try to notice if you can feel a difference between the first twist we did and this twist. Once that has served you, release that, and we're going to come into fire logs. So this should really release the corner of the seat. That's what causes sciatica a lot of times, is like the piriformis muscle, which is the corner of your seat, will tense around the sciatic nerve. So we're going to start with the right leg on top. You want your foot parallel to the front of the mat, and then you want to bring the right foot on top of the left knee, and the left, I'm going to lower the camera so you can see better, the right knee right on top of the left foot. And if your knee doesn't go down, that means that there's two reasons why that could happen. One is that you're just tight, which is totally normal, and we just have to honor where our body is today. Another reason is that you're not folded deeply at the hip creases. So if you shimmy your hips back and really feel your sitting bones connect with the floor, lift up out of the pelvis and deepen the hip crease, you'll see that knee drop by itself. We never want to push on the knee. The knee only bends, this way. It doesn't bend side to side. That's the shoulder. So we never want to push the knee into a position because that's going to compromise the integrity of the knee. So when we're trying to find that space, we have to see where else we can get it from. And in this case, it's the hips. So as you deepen the hip creases, you'll notice the knee fall down. This might be super intense and your hips might be screaming at you already. If that's the case, stay here and just really honor the hips and see them and be grateful for all that they do for you, and breathe into the spots that feel tight so that they can release. Alternatively, inhale the arms and exhale, lower into a forward bend, allowing your chest to come in front of the calves, and slowly lower down, deepening the hip creases and allowing the hips to release even more. This can be super intense, but it's a really, really nourishing motion pose for your body. Slowly walk your hands back and release the legs. We'll bring our hands back and just sort of windshield wiper the legs to release the hips before we do it on the other side. So this time the right leg is going to go on the bottom and the left leg is going to come on the top. So we want to make sure that the ankle is aligned over the knee and the knee is aligned over the ankle. And you see now mine doesn't reach. One option, if it doesn't reach because it's just you're not there yet, is to put a block in, and then you can still bend forward, releasing the hip and not having the knee hang out in space there, possibly hurting the knee, like pushing on the sides of the knee. The other option, if it's a alignment issue, is to shuffle the seat back. And you'll see that because I deepened my hip crease and had the first fold correct, now my knee is able to settle directly onto my foot. But you really want to make sure that your shins are aligned with each other, because that is how you ensure that you're getting to the right spot in the hips. And again, here, this could be super intense. Stay right like this. If you want to take it deeper, inhale the arms up, exhale forward, releasing all the way to the floor, trying to bring the chest in front of the shins, really deepening the hip crease, really opening up the piriformis, the glute medius, the whole corner of the seat. Inhale, walk the hands back, step the feet forward, and again, we're going to windshield wiper the legs. If you want to take them all the way to the floor, that's going to make it a little bit more intense. If you want to just keep them up here, that's also fine. When that is done, you're going to come to your back on the mat, and we're going to do a bridge pose, coming down towards the ends of class, allowing our bodies to really absorb the effort of our practice. So step your feet right in front of your hips, make your feet a number 11, hands by your hips, and slowly lift your hips, lift your chest. Again, you can stay here with your hands on the mat, or if you have more room in the back and you want to take it a little deeper, you can begin to shimmy the shoulders underneath you, interlace the fingers, and lengthen the arms down. So you want your arms all the way flat on the floor. You have to choose sometimes between the upper arms and the forearms. So for my benefit, I say the forearms and the upper arms and the hands are the most important, but see what works for you, what gives you the most stability, and what really allows you to back bend in the upper back. Now on the inhale, you're going to lift the chest towards the chin. And on the exhale, you're going to lengthen the knees away from yourself towards the bottom of the mat. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, extend the knees. 3 more breaths here. We're massaging the thyroid. We're engaging Jalandhara Bandha, which is the neck lock, which really resets the whole nervous system, bringing us back to neutral, calm place. On the exhale, release the hands. Slowly lower vertebrae by vertebrae, feeling the control of your body. And then bring your right knee into your chest, give it a hug. And switch, bring the left knee into your chest, give it a hug. Lift both feet up towards the sky. Happy baby. So you want to grab the pinky side edges of the feet and allow the feet to be flat as if they could step on the ceiling. Open the legs from the center to the sides and allow the knees to drop as if they're going to fit into the armpits. The lower, middle, and upper back should all be pushing into the floor, releasing any tension in the back. You can sway side to side. You can, holding the big toe, like yogi toe lock, extend one leg into a check mark, and then switch, extending the other leg into a check mark. These are our last few positions before Shavasana, so really do what you need to release any tension so that your body can settle as much as possible into Shavasana. Bring the knees into your chest, hands on your knees like balls in a mitt, and then slowly circle the knees around. Circle the other way. And we're going to lower our feet into feet together, knees apart. Pull your hands on the sides of the mat, so hands underneath the mat, thumbs on top of the mat. Pull the mat down so that you're lengthening the lower back. And stay in this Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined butterfly pose, for a minute, allowing the groin to open. And whenever you're ready, extend your legs long on the mat. Allowing your feet to open like pages of a book, all the way from the hip joints. Bring your hands by your sides, palms face up. Take up as much or as little space as you feel is comfortable to you. Lift the head, lengthen the back of the neck, and bring the head back down. So we really want our body to be as long and properly aligned as possible. Relax the right leg from the toes to the hip and the hip to the toes. Relax the right side of the body from the hip to the shoulders and the shoulders to the hip. Relax the right arm from the shoulder to the fingers and the finger to the shoulders. Relax the right side of the neck. Relax the right side of the head. Relax the left leg from the toes to the hip and the hip to the toes. Relax the left side of the body from the hip to the shoulders and the shoulders to the hip. Relax the left arm from the shoulder to the fingers and the fingers to the shoulder. Relax the left side of the neck. Relax the left side of the head. Relax the throat. Relax the jaw. Relax the tongue off the roof of your mouth. Relax the sides of your nose. Relax your cheeks. Relax your eye sockets. Relax the space between the eyes. Relax your brow. Relax your scalp. Relax your mind. Relax your breath. Allow yourself to sink into the floor. Feel the support of the floor holding you up. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. If you're watching the recording, you can stay like this forever until you're done. Once you're ready, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug, coming back into the body. Roll to one side and spend a moment here just scanning your body, scanning your mind, seeing how you feel now after investing in yourself and nourishing yourself. When you're ready, using your hands, slowly push yourself up to a seated position. Come to crisscross applesauce. Lengthen your spine down, lengthen your head long. And we'll seal practice with 3 deep breaths and 1 Om. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale for Om. Om. Bring your hands to heart center. Bow your forehead to your fingertips. Thank yourself for taking care of yourself. If you don't invest in yourself with love and nourishing energy, you will not have that love or energy to give to others or any other projects that you want to invest in. I thank you for letting me guide you. Namaste.